So welcome back to another episode, and we just finished the Christmas special, and we were thinking, hey, we were talking in the other room about some Christmas memories. I'm like, why don't we record these and just talk about them? There's such good memories to talk about.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's been so long since we've been in this much of the Christmas spirit, and it's really, really strong right now.
Yeah.
We were talking about in the other room. I was telling you about the near Christmas, not on Christmas Day,
yeah.
but super snowy outside. My brother had a bunch of his friends over for a sleepover, and we were all playing Wizards and Warriors on the NES. And then, come on, that game's so hard. And we were on the final boss, and we were all just passing around, continuing and taking turns. And strangely enough, my sister, who never really played video games, wasn't really into it. She was like, well, can I try? And we all kind of, okay, you can have a turn. And she beat it. She beat the boss. Just finished the game, and we were all just kind of, I gotta be honest, I felt, it was awesome, but at the same time, I felt kind of cheating, because it was supposed to be mine. I knew I was going to get it that time anyway. But, you know.
What year? We're talking like 88, 89.
89, yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I mean, she literally just like, she's stealing my thunder. And she took it and kept it.
Oh yeah, because you were the guy who beat everything in the house.
Right.
Yeah.
But right after that, we went outside and we had this massive snowball fight. But a guy we used to know named JD, he had like, this guy, I don't know, he just didn't have a sense of pain, or he was totally...
He loved creating pain for other people.
But when he made snowballs, because he said he'd pick up a handful of slush and he'd just hold it. It took him forever to make one of these. And he'd hold it and squeeze it until it was a ball of solid ice.
This is the guy that I got Phantasy Star off. This is the guy who used to live down my road, yeah.
So he'd hold it until it was a ball of solid ice, and then he'd pack snow around it, and then he'd roll it in a puddle of slush, and then smooth it until there was like a thin layer of ice with packed snow inside, and then a little ball of ice in the middle. It took him forever to make one, but when he whipped that and it hit you, it left a welt. Like, it was just freaking big red mark.
Yeah, I remember having snowball fights with him down the road, and it was a nightmare.
Man.
You just were like, yeah, I'm not doing that anymore.
But that was such a thing. And then, of course, we all went back inside and made the cookies.
Oh, yeah.
And hot chocolate.
So I don't think we've ever discussed it openly on the show, maybe in a podcast.
Have we not talked about the cookies?
Well, I've mentioned it on other things, but I don't think we've ever talked about it on the show.
Oh, my God.
One of the big memories I have going to Rob's place is that, even Andrew will say this as well, Rob created the best cookies.
No. This is a family recipe.
Yeah. His family created the best cookies. I mean, we come over and we call them crack cookies because they were like incredible. I mean,
you can't stop eating them. You can't.
Honestly, like, I don't mind eating cookies. I'm not a huge cookie eater, but these were unfucking real.
Especially a big tall glass of cold milk.
Yeah.
And you're eating these things
right out of the oven.
Right out of the oven. Just they're still warm. You let them cool just enough that they'll hold together.
Yeah.
And they're just warm and they're chewy and the chocolate's all melty and it's.
So over the years, during special occasions or gaming nights,
but also I mean even just every few days when everyone came over to our house, because all Meg's friends and all Gord's friends, we'd all be at my house and we'd make a double batch, and my parents were lucky to get a cookie.
Yeah,
and then like each pan is like 20 some odd cookies, and there's 3 pans per regular batch. So do the math on that. So that's 60 cookies. So 120 cookies. And there was like one left by the time my folks got home from work.
Yeah, it was a really big deal. But I'm saying like over the years that you'd bring them over like for a video game night or something. It was like, oh my God, you brought like a tin of your cookies? Are you kidding me? And Andrew Rush would be like, ooh, this is what he'd always do. He's like so excited. And the funny thing is, I've asked Rob for the recipe for years and he wouldn't do it. But when I got married, what was one of the things that he gave me?
One of the wedding presents was the recipe.
And I tell you,
it was time. It was the right time. You've got a house now.
Yeah.
You're married, and it's that thing, and it just makes the perfect coziness at the end of it, right?
Oh, I've got so many memories. I have Kim making cookies. Hey, you gonna make those cookies now? But it's just so funny. But the other memory that I want to talk about, and you were obviously there. I remember. It snowed, because we were talking about, and when we began this, it doesn't snow in Vancouver. Snowing intensely one fucking Christmas. It was insane. It was like fucking up to here. It was nuts. And me and you were like, well, we're going to go and get the new Die Hard Game Fan magazine. And I remember going through the snow with you.
Oh my God.
Going with it because in the new Die Hard Game Fan, they were going to show a brand new screenshot of Zelda.
That's right.
And we walked all the way down there,
but the Save on Foods.
The Save on Foods, and we get there. I mean, it was like an adventure going out to try to get this goddamn video game magazine. So and they were there every Sunday, but because of the snow, we got there. There was no delivery because there was so much snow. We're like, so anticlimactic. It's like sex without an orgasm. It was like, what?
It
Are you
truly
fucking
is.
kidding me? This is you fucking assholes.
This is horrible.
So we trucked back, and and the next day he didn't come up with me, but I trucked up again. I'm like, I'm going to see, and I don't know why I didn't fucking phone up, but I went, and they had it.
Nice.
And I stopped and I grabbed a 6-pack of beer. And I was like walking down the road. It's like, we're taking like a 45-minute walk in the snow, but yeah. And I get down there, I'd be smoking. I was like, oh, the new Zelda, what it's going to be like. And, I had the excitement of that. And then you came over and,
and ruined it all.
You fucked it all up. You
know what?
fucked it up.
I remember the year that Belinda and I were together?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, fuck. Do we want to know about that?
No. It was another one of those Christmases where the snow was just fucking piled everywhere. And it was snowing outside, and I was walking home, because it was a long walk from her place to my place through our neighborhood.
Yeah.
Because she was up by Sun God Arena, which won't mean much to you guys, but she was up by Sun God Arena.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
And you remember, right?
Yeah, I used to drive you there.
Long fucking walk, right?
Yeah.
But I'm walking home, and I'm having a smoke and, doing my thing. And there's this group, and I'm wearing one of my Santa hats. It's close to Christmas. And there's this group of guys, young guys like us, and they're all standing around, and they're drinking beer and laughing, and they're totally shit-faced.
Yeah.
And it's got to be like 2 a.m.
How old are you at this point? You were
20-something, 20-ish something.
Yeah.
But there they are, and the street lights, remember the street lights had that orangish tinge, so all the snow is kind of glowing a bit of an orange color.
Yeah.
And I could see there was a few stars peeking through some patches in the cloud. It was such a beautiful night.
Yeah.
No wind, but nice and cold and crisp.
Yeah.
And as I'm walking by, the guy's like, hey, man, fucking sweet hat. And I was like, oh, thanks, guys. Like, hey, come here, man. You want a drink? I was like, fuck yeah. And they reached into the snowbank and pulled out beer.
That's pretty cool.
They were just keeping their beer buried in the snow. So if the cops came by, they just shoved the cans in there.
Yeah.
As soon as the cops are gone, then psh, fucking yeah.
That's fucking
And so they
excellent.
gave me a couple of beers, and I, gave them all some smokes, and we sat and chatted for a while. And I walked home, and I remember walking home in the snow, no music. Before all of this was a thing with the phones, it was just silence, the falling snow, the cold beer, the stars.
That's fucking excellent.
And it was a perfect Christmas time moment, just for me.
That is wonderful,
It was
man.
so beautiful.
That is beautiful.
I miss those.
Yeah, it's funny about drinking on Christmas is that when I was 15, I was dating this girl, and so the thing is, me and this girl were doing was like, we didn't drink, we weren't drinkers, but we're 15 fucking years old. But her mom had some wine, a wine box in the fridge, so we kept going in and had a little bit of wine, drink it, and then we go back and sneak in. Oh, the parents are more wine. So my parents came to pick me up at like 9 at night, and I'm there, and I'm like fucking cross-eyed and my parents are so pissed off that they're like, "What? Our son's drunk? He's 15 at your place. You're supposed to be looking after him, or whatever." And I'm like, "Oh, it's fine." I remember being in the back of the car. I was like, "Oh, it's Christmas!" And then so I get home, and remember my room used to be downstairs.
Yeah.
I was so excited about fucking Christmas. I was so excited. And it was snowing. It was snow all outside. And I was on the ground floor. So I opened my sliding door. It's like packed up here with snow. And I'm in my boxer shorts. And I was so excited. I was so drunk. I ran onto the snow with like bare feet. Yeah, it's Christmas. It's fucking Christmas. Yoo-hoo. And I did this dance, and I was like, it's cold, I'm going in. But I seriously, it's funny, that was my Christmas memory just for me, just like yours is for you. So, man, we could keep on going, but guys, what are some of your Christmas memories like that? Some crazy fun, things that around the holidays.
Christmas.
Yeah. That make you think of like the happy days when you're younger, or something like that. So please leave them down below. So anyways, guys, until next time. I was starting to lose my voice.
Woo. That was good. Oh, those are good memories.
Yeah, isn't that
I
so
didn't
weird?
you done that running around naked.
Wasn't naked.
Well, boxers.
Oh yeah, there's a sheet between naked. Yeah,
Just shy of tackling the snow.
tackling. I gotta turn the camera off.
It's funny. It looked like there were 3 sets of footprints.